I go, I'ma get. When I flow, I'ma hit. And I know I'm the kid. I'm a soul, don't forget. I'ma blow up winning. Got my flow so vivid. Here we go, just beginning. Yeah, I throw every inning. Got my flow so legit. All I know is my shit. Here I go, they can whip. Post Malone in this bitch. Rock star making hits. Got guitar in this shit. Leaving scars cause we lit. All these bars that I spit. Yeah. Let's go, let's go. Let's go. If I know what I want, then I know what I get. If I go, they can whip, cause they know I get lit. I'm a pro, not a myth, and my flow got some wit. Never slow, drink a fit. I get hype, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. I get hype for this shit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. Here I go, I get lit. I get hype for this shit. Right. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I stay loose, I stay hype. I could do this all night, cause I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Yeah, I do what I like. Sipping goose, sip is right. And I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Yeah, I go with the flow. Cause I know I'm the show. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. In the zone, here I go. Yeah, they know I'm a pro. Let's go, let's go!
It is the last Saturday of the month, which means Impact Wrestling is ready to rebel against everyone, more importantly, against AEW, because tonight's main event match, winner take all, really unifying two companies, Impact Wrestling and AEW, All Elite Wrestling. Huge night for the world of professional wrestling, huge night for Impact Wrestling. All eyes right now are on Rebellion. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Angle Podcast prediction and preview show for Impact Wrestling's Rebellion 2021 pay-per-view happening tonight on Impact Plus and Fight TV. We are just a few hours away from that event taking place, and my God, there are so many matches to look forward to on this card. This is a stacked mega card with talent all across the board. Really, the whole roster is involved in this match. We're seeing faces of the company like Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards all involved in the card. We're seeing the women take center stage with a Knockouts title match. We see a Impact Wrestling Knockouts tag team title match with a new Impact Wrestling Knockout featured in that match, and we'll get into that match in just a little while. A lot of stuff taking place tonight, and we kind of have to talk about the losses that Impact has had over the last few months, losing Taya Valkyrie, losing now known as MSK, all to NXT, really taking a beating to their roster. But right now is the time where they are going to stand tall and stand strong against really everyone. I had the opportunity this past week to sit down and have a great interview or chat, whatever you want to call it, exclusive with producer of Impact Wrestling and color commentator with Impact Wrestling, D'Lo Brown, a huge wrestling legend in Impact Wrestling, in WWE, wherever he was, huge legend in the ring. And he said, paraphrasing here, that this event, if you've never watched Impact before, if you've been an Impact fan for a long time, this is the night to watch. This is the pay-per-view to watch. Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2001, really, pun intended, rebelling against all the other competition in the world of professional wrestling. I do want to start off talking right now about the Knockouts tag team title match. We have Fire and Flava defending their titles. And let me add before I go into this match, Fire and Flava being the best women's tag team on in all of women's tag team wrestling. I think right now, having such great chemistry inside and outside of the ring, having some great additions to their move set inside the ring, a lot of great things coming from Fire and Flava. I am excited for this match. This match, like I said, the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team title match. Fire and Flava defending against Jordynne Grace and her new tag team partner and new Impact Wrestling Knockout superstar. She is a legacy, Rachel Ellering. Yes, Rachel Ellering made her debut this past week on Impact Wrestling, and she is teaming with Jordynne Grace, like I said, to take on Fire and Flava. Now, Jordynne Grace has had this opportunity before. She has just ended really her run with Jazz, a legend, an icon in the world of women's wrestling. Unfortunately, losing to Deonna Purrazzo, having to end her career and retire. But Rachel Ellering coming in at the right time to pick up the pieces and help Jordynne Grace rebel, so to say, against Fire and Flava. Tonight, this match is going to be one to look at because this is going to be the first match of Rachel Ellering in Impact Wrestling. But more importantly, we're going to see how well she can do with a superstar that, if she was to reach the top, would have to go through in order to get there, and that is Jordynne Grace. So we're going to see a great, it's going to be a test to see really where Rachel Ellering is going to stand in Impact Wrestling in the Knockouts division. This match is going to go back and forth. Jordynne Grace is a powerhouse. Rachel Ellering is a powerhouse. Fire and Flava, individually smaller competitors against these two. So I think that it's going to be a brutal beatdown for Fire and Flava. But I think at the end of the night, we are going to see, and still, Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Champions, Fire and Flava. I think that this team is just doing phenomenal things. Like I said, Tasha Steelz, Kiera Hogan, really getting it done across the board in Impact Wrestling. So tonight, they are a force to be reckoned with. New team, new things to look to really go over with Jordynne Grace and Rachel Ellering. Really coming together last minute, but we really can't say that this may not work out because we've seen tag teams come together last minute and become very successful. So it's going to go back and forth this match, but I do see Fire and Flava retaining their Knockouts Tag Team Championship. Now, another match on tonight's card, a huge 8-man tag team match. It's Violent by Design, led by Eric Young, taking on this mega Impact Wrestling All-Star team of James Storm, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack. This match in itself has all the names you could possibly think of when you think about Impact Wrestling today. Just a lot of star power in this match. Violent by Design has really taken Impact Wrestling by the throat and has been holding it, squeezing it tight, sucking the life out of it. Rhino coming back, aligning with Violent by Design. But we know Eric Young is out with a huge knee injury. He's going to be gone for like 6 to 8 months or something like that. Surgery and all. So we don't know if he's going to be involved in this match. I'm not sure. As of right now, he is on the promo for it. He's on the match card. So we don't know if someone's going to fill in for him or not. But this match, just over the last few months, really, Violent by Design, getting the best of each of these stars, getting the best of James Storm, getting the best of Chris Sabin, getting the best of them together as a tag team, really coming together as the greatest tag team in all of Impact, really, because James Storm being a part of Beer Money, Chris Sabin being a part of Motor City Machine Guns. So really combining those two together, creating this mega Impact Wrestling historical tag team, getting beat down, taking losses to Violent by Design. Eddie Edwards, really the flag bearer. When I spoke to D'Lo Brown this past week, he said Eddie Edwards is the flag bearer for Impact Wrestling, and there's so much still to come for him. Willie Mack, having a great run last year as the X Division champion, not getting the real opportunity he deserves. Maybe this match is where we see him shine brighter than everybody else. So I think that the most this tag team of Storm and Sabin and Edwards and Mack really does have the potential to be the match of the night, because we have all the big names in Impact Wrestling, all the flag bearers and the legends and the up and comers and the tag team specialists, really in one mega team taking on Violent by Design, where they're designed to rip down and tear apart Impact Wrestling. So tonight, with Eric Young, either if he's in the match or not, I think that they are lacking tonight because of that. So I'm going to have to predict that James Storm, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack get the win in this match, finally getting some retribution, no pun intended there, against Violent by Design, over just getting continuously getting the best of them over the last few weeks and months, really. If you are just tuning in, this is the Angle Podcast prediction and preview show for Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2021. I am your host, Joey Karni. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down below. We are shying. We are closing in on 400 subscribers. And after that, it's going to be 500 and 600 and so on, because there's just so much to gain going forward. I'm excited for it. Like I said, please like and subscribe down below. Comment the match you're looking forward to most. And if you're in the chat right now, while I'm talking about these matches, I want to hear your thoughts and your predictions as well, because this really is a huge event for Impact. There's so many different ways that this card can go. So I really, like I said, want to hear your thoughts. When I give my predictions, I want to hear yours as well. Maybe we can go back and forth and have a really interesting conversation. So this next match I want to talk about is a last man standing match. This match is going to be brutal. This match is going to be bloody. This match is going to be everything you can think of in a hardcore match. We have Sami Callihan, who is the master of all of the things I just stated. We have Trey Miguel, who is looking to make a name for himself as a singles competitor in Impact Wrestling. Like I said, NXT gaining MSK, the former tag team partners of Trey Miguel, really giving him the opportunity to shine as a single star. A lot of people doubting his ability to succeed without his best friends. A lot of people doubting Trey Miguel to be a huge name singles competitor in Impact Wrestling. This is the opportunity he's been waiting for. This is the opportunity I believe he needs to get to the next level. I said earlier that he has to go, or Sami Callihan and Eddie Edwards, they're the flag bearers. They are the faces of Impact Wrestling. And tonight, Trey Miguel is going up against one of those in a last man standing match. He has to go through Sami Callihan. If he can do this tonight, this will project him into a new light in Impact Wrestling, and really kind of rebel him against all of the naysayers, all of the doubters, all the people who have said he cannot make it as a single star. I think tonight we're going to see Trey Miguel get a win over Sami Callihan, just because he's got the most to gain, but also the most to lose. Sami Callihan doesn't lose anything from this match. He lost his last pay-per-view match to Eddie Edwards. If he takes a loss, I mean, what is the direction of him right now? He already is the face, one of the faces, one of the flag bearers for Impact Wrestling. Trey Miguel, if he loses, the naysayers and the doubters and the haters were right. If he wins, this puts him in a great spot. Maybe an X Division championship opportunity, maybe a championship to further his career as a world champion in Impact. So there's a lot to gain and a lot to lose for Trey Miguel, which is why I think he's going to get the win in this match against Sami Callihan. Huge match. I think that match is going to be one of the best matches of the night, because we know last man standing equals blood and guts, and we know Sami Callihan is always looking to get that out of his opponent. The next match I want to talk about is years in the making. This match is something that all wrestling fans have been waiting for, even in WWE in their WWE days. They are former tag team partners for 15 plus years. This team, can't even call them a team anymore, because they have just gone completely different directions, both being released by WWE last year in April due to COVID budget cuts. But they have projected themselves into a path of their own. They are in Impact Wrestling. They are huge stars, and they are here to rebel really against each other at Rebellion 2021. It is Brian Myers taking on his former best friend, Matt Cardona. This match, like I said, years in the making. Former tag team champions all around the world. Former stars of WWE, like I said, released from WWE last year, not knowing where they're going to go. Matt Cardona showing up for a few weeks in AEW. Brian Myers really just ducking and hiding for a little while. Coming to Impact Wrestling. Matt Cardona coming to Impact Wrestling a few months ago. and already making a huge name for himself. And who knows, with the recent releases that we've seen in WWE this year, hopefully soon we see Chelsea Green, who is the fiance of Matt Cardona, but also a former star legend, whatever you want to call her, of Impact Wrestling. So I think sooner than later, we're going to see Chelsea Green back in Impact. But to stay on beat of this match, Brian Myers, Matt Cardona, years in the making. We've seen Matt Cardona really coming in to try to elevate himself to a new light. Brian Myers trying to elevate himself to where Matt Cardona is right now, or already has been. Matt Cardona having success as a single star. Matt Cardona having success as a tag team superstar. Brian Myers, we remember his huge storyline in WWE, losing hundreds of matches. I don't know what it was, and finally getting one win at WrestleMania to become a World Tag Team Champion with Matt Cardona at the time, Zack Ryder, formerly known as. But Brian Myers, I think, has the most to gain in this match, and I think Matt Cardona has the most to lose in this match. But I think with what we've seen over the last few weeks, I think it is Cardona's time. I think tonight we are going to see Matt Cardona get a win over his former best friend, his former tag team partner, his former everything, really, Brian Myers. This match is probably going to be the one that people have their eyes on early on in the night, but I think it's going to be a fantastic match, elevating both guys to really where they should have been all of this time. Now, this next match, D'Lo Brown actually said this is the match he is looking forward to most at this pay-per-view. It is the three-way dances, the triple threat match for the X Division Championship. Now, when I did speak to D'Lo, he said that this title, the X Division Championship, but more importantly, the X Division, is a stepping stone for all superstars to elevate themselves to the next level, to really get their names solidified as a major player in professional wrestling and Impact Wrestling, but really also to get them put in line for a shot at the top, for a shot at the face of Impact Wrestling. So there is a lot to look forward to in this match. We have TJP. He's a former X Division champion. We have Josh Alexander, who, when I spoke to earlier this year, said his main focus is to be the X Division champion. Last year, when I did speak to Ace Austin, he had just lost the X Division championship. He was a little lost. He said that maybe he'll go to a world title match or world title direction. Maybe he'll go towards a tag team title direction. Since then, he has done both of those things, but unsuccessfully getting those done. He finally came back to the X Division, somewhere that was really needing him, desperately needing him. And now he is back at the top of the mountain, defeating TJP or Mack, whatever you want to call him, for that title. So tonight is really a full circle moment for all three of these guys. I think this is going to be the match of the night. D'Lo Brown himself also predicted that as well. So this is really hard to tell who's going to win. I think tonight, I'm between right now, as I'm talking about it, between Ace Austin and Josh Alexander, because both guys, I think, are just in a position right now where losing is not an option, but losing is also not even, it's not even a thought right now, especially for someone like Ace Austin, who's been on such a roll this past year, winning the cup, winning the X Division Championship, really just putting himself back where he belongs at the top of Impact. Hopefully down the line, like D'Lo said, winning multiple world titles. So with that being said, I think tonight we're going to see Ace Austin retain that title, but I also think we're going to see Josh Alexander shine the way he should, because this guy is one of the best technical wrestlers in the world. He is one of the best wrestlers on the Impact Wrestling roster. I think he's got the most to gain in this match. I think Ace Austin has the most to lose. Personally, I don't know why TJP is even in this match, because I am just over this character. He's held the title. He's lost the title. Back of the line, it's time for a new direction in the X Division. Ace Austin, like I said, back at the top of it. Josh Alexander really, really trying to get his name out there to be a great singles competitor, which I know and a lot of other wrestling fans know that he can be. So tonight, I have to predict Ace Austin, because he has Madman Fulton in his corner always. I think tonight Ace Austin retains the X Division Championship, but I don't think it's going to be done in an easy manner. I think that Josh Alexander and TJP are both going to put up the fight of their life, especially Josh Alexander, because this is what he's looking forward to most. This is what he's completely focused on in Impact Wrestling. I talked to him earlier this year, and he said after him and Ethan Page ended their tag team, the North, being one of the best tag teams in the history of Impact, he really had to find a new direction for himself. He's really focused on the X Division Championship, manifesting it, talking about it, putting himself in this position tonight. I still don't think that it's the time for that. Ace Austin will be retaining his X Division Championship, but I would happily like to be wrong if that is the case and see Josh Alexander walk out the new X Division champion. So either way, I'm going to be happy with the result of this match. As long as TJP does not regain the title, I think all will be well in the world of Impact Wrestling. This next match, a match I think that will really solidify Deonna Purrazzo as the face of the Knockouts division. But I also think, too, will make people remember the name of Emma, remember the name Tenille Dashwood, remember what this woman has done for women's wrestling over the last 10 plus years. Tenille Dashwood is a future Hall of Famer. She is a future Knockouts women's Knockouts champion. When Deonna Purrazzo first came back to Impact and she regained the title, and after her first or second feud, I was like, who really can she go up against? Maybe Jazz, because that would be an awesome match to solidify Deonna Purrazzo as a solidified star in Impact. She did that. She retired Jazz just last week. Then I said, okay, who else can she step up against? There is so many women so many knockouts in this division. A dream match would be Tenille Dashwood and Deonna Purrazzo. Really coming full circle. Both coming from NXT. Tenille Dashwood and Paige being the leaders of the women's revolution in NXT so many years ago. Obviously, Emma being in WWE and just not getting the right place that she deserved. But she's in Impact tonight, and I said this a while ago. This is a dream match for all fans of both of these stars. Dream match for all fans of the Knockouts division. Dream match for all fans of Impact Wrestling. And at Rebellion 2021 tonight, we are getting it finally coming to fruition. Deonna Purrazzo, Tenille Dashwood, the Knockouts Championship. And honestly, I would love to see Tenille Dashwood hold the gold. She's got Caleb with an E, or Caleb with a K, in her corner. Deonna Purrazzo is just on a streak right now that I've never seen of anyone in Impact Wrestling. Really, she retired Taya Valkyrie from Impact. She retired Jazz from Impact. She's defeated Susie. She's defeated everybody. How do you knock down this knockout? No pun intended there. It's going to be really difficult for Tenille Dashwood, but because she's got Caleb with a K in her corner, she may have a chance. Again, I spoke to D'Lo Brown earlier last week. I asked him, who do you think is the future star of Impact Wrestling? Because right now you're seeing everybody in early stages of their career. Who do you think is the future of Impact? And he said, without a shadow of a doubt, the face of the Knockouts division for so many years to come, the face of Impact Wrestling, Deonna Purrazzo. There is so much backing right now of Deonna Purrazzo for the way she carries herself in the ring as a champion, how she carries herself outside the ring as a champion, as a superstar. She has got, word for word from D'Lo, she's got star power written all over her. Deonna Purrazzo is just too mean, too bad right now, and I think tonight she's going to retain her Knockouts Championship against Tenille Dashwood. It's going to be a match we're all going to be talking about after tonight. It's going to be a match we're all going to be wanting to see more of, but I think you're going to see Deonna Purrazzo retain her title and just do what she does best, and that is own the Knockouts division in Impact Wrestling. The World Tag Team Championship match. They are world titles because they've been defended everywhere now. We have the team of FinJuice coming back from New Japan Pro Wrestling, stealing the titles from Impact Wrestling last month or so from the Good Brothers in a match that shocked the world. We did not think that FinJuice would become the tag team champions. It was just an odd timing with the Good Brothers being so involved with Impact, with AEW and Kenny Omega and all this stuff going on for them to, and the Young Bucks, really, them being the World Tag Team Champions at AEW, the Good Brothers being the Impact World Tag Team Champions. It just made sense. They lost those titles, and everyone was like scratching their heads, like, why is this happening? Tonight, I think we're going to see those guys retain or regain the World Tag Team Championship. They've waited long enough. They wanted their opportunity weeks ago. FinJuice went back over to New Japan Pro Wrestling, dodging the Good Brothers. Tonight, I think they're going to get their titles back. The Good Brothers, without a shadow of a doubt. I will be surprised if FinJuice retains the titles. They are holding these titles. They're not doing anything with them besides gloating across the world to the Good Brothers. I think tonight, just the Good Brothers have had it. They're ready for this opportunity. They honestly, they deserve the opportunity. Jumping across, companies, Impact Wrestling, AEW, really just holding the Impact Wrestling flag. They deserve this opportunity. They deserve to be the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, the World Tag Team Champions tonight. I think we're going to see it happen again. Good Brothers, 2-time Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions, defeating FinJuice. I think it's going to be an awesome match, but I think it's finally time the Good Brothers get those titles back. Now, this main event match tonight, oh my goodness. It's not just company versus company. It's not just Impact Wrestling versus AEW. This is a match that you can't even create this match in a video game because they don't allow you to. This match is historical. This match is the biggest match of all of 2021. And this past few weeks ago, we had WrestleMania, 2 nights of it. And this is the biggest match so far of 2021. Like I said, it's not AEW versus Impact. It's not just Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. This is a match that is going to change everything in pro wrestling. We have the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion, Rich Swann, who at the last pay-per-view defeated Moose to unify the TNA World title and the Impact Wrestling title. This guy is holding 2 world titles right now. Unified 1 company already. 2 companies, making it 1, Impact Wrestling. Now we have the Impact AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega, coming in. He's going to be defending his title tonight, while Rich Swann is defending his titles tonight. Company versus company, champion versus champion. Winner walks out the unified World Heavyweight Champion of Impact Wrestling, TNA, and AEW. Never been seen before. It's never been done before, and probably will never, ever happen again. The question remains is what the hell is happening with Impact Wrestling? Their World Tag Team Champions are in New Japan. They potentially can lose their world titles tonight. A lot of people saying maybe this is where we see Impact kind of merge into AEW and we see a huge thing happening. A lot of people are predicting we're going to see a screwy finish. Maybe both guys walk out with their respective titles. Maybe this is where we see Kenny Omega prove to the world why he is the best wrestler in the world. Something that everybody has been saying for years. When he becomes the unified AEW, TNA, and Impact Wrestling World Unified Heavyweight Champion. I don't know where this match is going to go. I don't know what's going to happen. There's so many different directions it can go. We know Don Callis will be in the corner of Kenny Omega. We know the Young Bucks are close by. We know the club, the Bullet Club. Too sweet. Copyright me, whatever. Are going to be close by. I have a feeling we're going to see Moose close by as well. Hopefully to defend Rich Swann. Because he told Rich Swann this past week, you better not lose those titles because you're going to have to answer to him. There's a lot at stake in this match. It's not just titles. It's ego. It's pride. It's company. It's everything. This match is everything. And I think tonight, it's going to be something that we've, like I said, never seen before. It probably will never happen again. The greatest thing about this match is that who is on commentary? We have legendary MMA commentator, whatever you want to call him. He is the voice of combat sports. Mauro Ranallo will be ringside, joining the commentary team to call this match, being the biggest match really ever in all of professional wrestling. Rich Swann, Kenny Omega, AEW World Championship versus the Impact Wrestling TNA World Championship. Winner becomes the unified champion. Winner becomes the head of the table, no pun intended, of both companies. Rich Swann has been getting by. Very, very close to losing every match that he's had so far for that title. Scraping by. Kenny Omega has been dominating since he's become the world champion of AEW. Tonight, if I have to pick a winner, because I really don't want there to be one, I'm going to have to say that the new AEW World Champion, or should I say AEW Impact Wrestling TNA Unified World Heavyweight Champion, will be Kenny Omega. There's just no doubt in my mind that unless someone comes out to help Rich Swann, unless this match gets a screw finish, I'm not sure what's going to happen. But if I have to predict a winner, it's going to be Kenny Omega. This is going to put Kenny Omega in a class of his own, at the top of the mountain where you can't touch him, being the champion of all. This guy's going to have like 5 titles. This match is very stressful. This match is a lot to take in. When we first heard about this match taking place, we didn't know it was going to be title versus title. We just thought it would be champion versus champion. It's title versus title. Everything is on the line tonight. Like I said, it's not just the titles on the line. It's not just, who wins this match. It's not just ego and pride. It's not just the faces of each company. It's not just that. It's a company is on the line tonight. AEW can lose their world championship. Impact Wrestling can lose their world championship. This is something we've never seen before. And I think that if there's going to be one guy to do it, it's got to be Kenny Omega. And like I said, Mauro Ranallo will be on commentary. He'll be ringside calling this match. And we all know how he's going to be. I'm excited for it. I hope you are too. If you are just tuning in, it's kind of late now. This is the Angle Podcast, prediction and preview show for Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2021. I am your host, Joey Karni. We have just gone over all the matches for tonight. I'm going to start back from the bottom and go all the way back up. We have the Impact Wrestling Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. Fire and Flavor, Jordan Grace, and Rachel Ellering. I think Fire and Flavor are going to get the win and retain those titles. Violent by Design, the huge 8-man tag team match. Violent by Design versus James Storm, Chris Sabin, Eddie Edwards, and Willie Mack. I think this is where we're going to see Violent by Design finally go down. We know Eric Young is hurt. We don't know if he's going to be in the match. We don't know if he is going to be in the match. But regardless, they are going to be short a little bit tonight, which is why I think Eddie Edwards, Chris Sabin, James Storm, and Willie Mack are going to get the win in this huge 8-man tag team match. Last man standing, Sami Callihan, Trey Miguel. Like I said, Sami Callihan is already established. He's already an established name in Impact. He is one of the faces, the flag bearer, one of the flag bearers of Impact. Trey Miguel, all the doubters say he can't be a great superstar on his own. All the doubters are saying he can't get to the top of the mountain in Impact. He has the most to lose, the most to gain, which is why I think Trey Miguel is going to get the win over Sami Callihan in this last man standing match. This next match is 15 plus years in the making. Former tag team champions, former best friends, former really everything to each other. Brian Myers, Matt Cardona. I think tonight Matt Cardona gets the win, but this match is going to be something we're going to be talking about for years to come, because this is going to be the match where everything just over the last 15, 20 years just comes about and they all get it out in the ring. Matt Cardona is going to get a huge win over Brian Myers. 3-way dance, the triple threat match for the X Division Championship. TJP, Ace Austin defending against TJP, and Josh Alexander. Josh Alexander's big focus right now is the X Division Championship. TJP's big focus is getting that title back that he lost to Ace Austin. Ace Austin's big mentality tonight is to keep either one of those guys from pinning each other or pinning him. He's got to walk out the X Division Championship. I think Ace Austin has the most experience here. He's got Madman Fulton by his side. He's just been on a huge roll as of late. X Division Champion Ace Austin will be retaining that title tonight over TJP and Josh Alexander. The Knockouts Championship match, a dream match, really, for this division. Deonna Purrazzo defending against Tenille Dashwood. Deonna Purrazzo, another superstar who's just been on a roll as she got into this company over a year ago. I think tonight she's going to get a huge win over Tenille Dashwood, but it's not going to be done that easy. I think it's going to be a brawl for brawl. They're going to go pound to pound. Deonna Purrazzo ultimately will be leaving tonight. Rebellion 2021, as the Knockouts still the Knockouts champion. The Impact Wrestling World Tag Team Championship match. FinJuice defending against the Good Brothers. The Good Brothers have been waiting for this opportunity since they lost those titles over a month ago. FinJuice taking those titles, running back overseas to New Japan Pro Wrestling. Good Brothers really just salivating for this opportunity. They're ready for this opportunity. They've deserved it. They've earned it. Tonight, Good Brothers, there's no way that they're leaving tonight as the losers. They're walking out tonight, the new Impact Wrestling, two-time Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions. The main event of tonight, it's so big, they brought in the voice of combat sports, Mauro Ranallo, to be ringside to talk about this match. It's the AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Kenny Omega, defending his AEW World title against the Impact Wrestling and TNA Unified World Heavyweight Champion versus Swan. It's title versus title. It's company versus company. It's Rich Swann versus Kenny Omega. This match is the biggest match of 2021. And tonight, I think Kenny Omega, if anybody has to do it, it's going to be Kenny Omega. He's going to rule the world of professional wrestling. He's going to rule the world of AEW, but he's also going to rule the world of Impact Wrestling. This card tonight is going to be a huge, huge night. Rebellion, like I said at the beginning of the show, rebelling against all the companies in pro wrestling. Impact trying to rebel against AEW All Elite Wrestling. It's going down tonight, 8 p.m. on Fight TV and Impact Plus. If you haven't subscribed already, get over there and do that. This show, like I said, is going to be a great, great show. The stacked card, all the guys and girls on the roster are coming out tonight. They're looking to rebel. They're looking to get the job done. Tonight is going to be probably one of the best nights in professional wrestling this year so far. We know what Impact Wrestling can do. We saw it Hard to Kill. A lot of guys and girls putting it all on the line. We're going to see it done again tonight. Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2021 coming to you just a few hours away. This is the Angle Podcast prediction and preview show for that event, Impact Wrestling Rebellion 2021. I'm your host, Joey Karni. If you haven't already, like and subscribe down below. Comment down below your favorite match or the match you're looking forward to most. If you're in the chat, let me know what you think about what's going to happen tonight. There's so much to look forward to. There's so much to happen tonight. I'm going to be back here after the show to do a full full review and results show. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot to talk about then. So I'm trying to save my voice for when that happens. I want to thank you all for tuning into the show, talking about Impact Wrestling, talking about Rebellion. Like I said, I've talked to a lot of guys and girls on this card tonight. Most recently, D'Lo Brown. You can check that interview out on this channel at The Angle Podcast on YouTube. And also, it's The Angle Radio or at The Angle Radio on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And you can also check out highlights and cool stuff from interviews and whatnot on The Angle Podcast TikTok. All available. You can see at the bottom of the screen there. All the social media links are there. I'm going to be live tweeting this entire event. So if you want to hear what I have to say, if you want to see if my predictions come true, if you want to just talk to me about pro wrestling and Impact Wrestling's Rebellion tonight, it's at The Angle Radio on Twitter. Like I said, live tweeting the entire event. If you are a follower of The Angle Podcast, if you are a follower on Twitter, you know how the feed is. It is ridiculous throughout the entire event. So expect that. I've been on a break for this past week, took a little mental break, went to Florida. I am back, well ready to do this, refreshed, and I'm ready to go. And tonight, Impact Wrestling Rebellion, it's going to be one of the best damn pay-per-views of the entire year. So I hope you're ready. I am. Go get a cold beverage, go get a water, whatever you got to do to enjoy a wrestling pay-per-view. We're an hour or so away from the event. Like I said, live tweeting at The Angle Radio on Twitter. Like and subscribe. And I will see you at the same place right here, The Angle Podcast on YouTube, after the pay-per-view for a full review and results show. Impact Wrestling Rebellion. Rebelling against All Pro Wrestling. Who's going to walk out the new unified Impact Wrestling and AEW World Champion? We're going to find out in just a very short period of time, and it's finally coming to rise. This match has been months in the making, and I think we're all ready for it to happen. So I will see you again, like I said, after the pay-per-view. And once again, it's always a great time to be a pro wrestling fan. Enjoy the night. I will see you after the pay-per-view.